I don't think I've ever made a big secret out of it, but I'm also not sure how heavily I've advertised this fact about myself, so let me rip the band-aid off. I kinda hate Wolverine. Mostly because I've never really gotten the appeal, and his constant shilling, often historically at the expense of other X-Men, particularly in media adaptations, turned antipathy into outright dislike for how often I see him. But since he's one half of the upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine, I can't just not talk about Logan here and there. I mean, I guess I could, it might actually be pretty funny, but nothing makes Deadpool more annoying than people constantly talking about Deadpool, including Deadpool. So for your sanity and mine, I figured I'd mix it up. And what better way to cover a character I'm not particularly fond of than by talking about the time that Marvel made a whole event celebrating his death? Anyways, the premise. Wolverine has lost his healing factor thanks to a virus from the Microverse. That's the quantum realm, but in the comics where they don't have to argue with Hasbro. It's a whole thing. Mr. Fantastic agrees to work on a cure, but advises Logan to lay low because his claws and the adamantium in his skeleton are already wreaking havoc with his health, and if any of his enemies find out about his condition, they're gonna take a swing at him. Logan, realizing that he's pissed off a lot of people in a lot of dangerous circles, scoffs that word will get out soon enough, and is proven right, having to fight the cybernetic super soldier Nuke shortly after. After besting Nuke and getting some intel from him, Wolverine finds out a bounty's been put on his head, and he goes off to Madripoor to fight the one responsible, Viper. Snake-themed supervillain with ties to both the Serpent Society and Hydra, and also Wolverine's ex-wife. She reveals that she was actually subcontracting the hit for someone else and attempts to sick a captive Sabretooth on him, but Wolverine survives thanks to a surprise intervention from Lady Deathstrike. Deathstrike proposes an alliance with Wolverine to take down Ogun, a ninja sorcerer also after the contract on Wolverine, but when she realizes his healing factor is down, she turns on him, only to be taken out herself by Kitty Pryde. Kitty hands Logan a one-use regeneration serum to get him back on his feet, and the two head to Japan to look for Ogun, only for Logan to discover he's been with them the whole time, possessing Kitty. They force him out, but he quickly finds another host, and another fight breaks out, during which Ogun discloses that the real mastermind behind the operation is Dr. Abraham Cornelius, the man who originally bonded the adamantium to Wolverine in the first place. Logan and Ogun reach an agreement and go their separate ways, with Logan heading to Paradise Valley to confront Cornelius. The Mad Doctor's been experimenting on people to create a new batch of adamantium-bonded super subjects, and all he needs to start the process is Wolverine's healing factor, hence the contract. Wolverine takes a moment to bask in the situational irony, and then sabotages Cornelius' efforts, slashing open the liquid adamantium tanks before the test subjects can be injected. Pursuing a wounded Cornelius to the roof while coated in rapidly hardening adamantium, Cornelius accuses Wolverine of being nothing but a killer, leaving Wolverine to contemplate his life as the adamantium shell cools around him and suffocates him. The impact of his death was actually pretty far-reaching, affecting not only the X-Men, but characters like Spider-Man, Captain America, and Deadpool as well. And while nobody really expected him to stay dead forever, it lasted for a couple years real-world time at least. Which meant a bit of a break from Wolverine, right? Well, not really. But I'll get into that next week.